Let's stop pretending women are impossible to understand. They're not. They're emotional creatures, beautiful, complex. Yes, but trust me, there are cracks in the armor. If you know where to look, you'll see exactly what makes them melt, what makes them chase, and what keeps them up at night thinking about you. This isn't about manipulation or playing games. It's about recognizing the truths most men overlook. While average guys are busy trying too hard, the grounded ones, the stoic ones, are pressing on the right emotional pressure points. Quiet triggers that hit her deeper than words ever could. Today, on Stoic Edge, Chahar TM, we're diving into 9 female psychological weaknesses every man must understand. Some will surprise you, some will make you nod, and a few? You'll wish you'd known them a decade ago. No fluff, no filters, just pure stoic clarity meets primal masculine insight. Confidence that doesn't beg for approval. Let's get real. Women are addicted to confidence, but not the loud, showy, look-at-me kind. We're talking about the quiet, immovable kind. The type that walks into a room needing nothing, asking no questions, already knowing its own worth. Most guys are validation addicts. They over-text, over-compliment, try too hard to be different. But a woman can smell desperation like blood in the water. True confidence doesn't chase. It doesn't explain itself. It simply is. It's the man who holds his frame when she tests him, the man who doesn't flinch in silence, the one who speaks only when it matters. She may act in control, she may test your frame, but when a man stands grounded without ego, without effort, it short-circuits her mind. Why? Because feminine energy is wired to surrender not to force, but to strength. Emotional, grounded, silent strength. You don't win her by trying harder. You win her by standing taller. Let your presence say what your mouth doesn't need. 2. That's a weakness she doesn't even see coming. Being understood without needing to explain. Here's the raw truth. Most women are tired, exhausted, actually from having to explain themselves. They're tired of saying, "I'm fine," and not being heard. Tired of being called too emotional. Tired of not being seen. One of her deepest vulnerabilities? A man who gets it without her needing to break it down word for word. You don't need to be psychic. You just need to be present. Read her energy. Feel the shift in her tone. Sense the silence that replaced her laughter. When you pause and say, "Something feels off," you can talk to me when you're ready. It lands different. It tells her, "This man sees me." She doesn't need to perform for you. She can be with you. That's rare, because women don't fall in love with men who impress them. They fall for the ones who understand them. Don't fix her, feel her. That's the real key. Masculine silence that holds the moment. Silence isn't just golden. It's powerful. Most men never learn this. We're not talking about the cold shoulder or ghosting. We're talking about stoic silence. The kind that says, "I'm not reacting, I'm observing." In a world that never shuts up, the man who knows when to not speak becomes dangerous in the best way. He doesn't argue. He doesn't beg for understanding. He simply stays still, unshaken. And when she throws chaos at you and you meet it with calm, game over. It shocks her system. She's used to men crumbling under pressure. You stand in it. Your silence forces her back into her feminine. You don't just hold the frame, you become the frame. That's where deep attraction lives, in the quiet power of a man who doesn't need to raise his voice to be heard. Eye contact that dominates without trying. Eye contact isn't just about confidence. It's about presence, grounding, and unspoken dominance. Most guys look away too soon. Others overdo it and come off as try-hards. But the man who can lock eyes, hold them with calm energy, and add just a flicker of a smirk, that man owns the room. Your eyes reveal who you are, your control, your depth, your intent, and when you look at her not to impress, but to see her while remaining fully centered, that look plants something in her mind she can't shake. No cheesy lines, no pickup games, just that unblinking knowing, that silent, I see you, and I'm not going anywhere unless I choose to. That kind of eye contact is felt. It makes her imagine you long after the conversation ends. Mystery with meaning. Here's a truth too many men ignore. Women crave depth, not overexposed vulnerability. Depth. Mystery isn't about being secretive, it's about being layered. A woman's curiosity is a powerful thing. When she senses that there's more beneath the surface, she leans in. Most guys overshare way too soon. They spill everything hoping to bond. But real connection? It comes from restraint. Tell her just enough. Drop pieces of your story like breadcrumbs, not bombs. Let her feel the storms you've weathered, but don't explain them all. Let her earn it. Because when a woman senses shadow behind your smile, stories behind your silence, pain you've turned into strength, she won't just stay. She'll dive in. Mystery, handled right, makes you unforgettable. Purpose that burns, quietly. Forget flashy ambition, forget hype. What draws her in isn't how loud your grind is, it's how centered your purpose feels. A man with a clear sense of why he's here, that's rare, and that's magnetic. Passion excites, but purpose grounds. It's steady, directional. It's what makes a man immovable in a world of distraction. She doesn't want someone chasing trends. She wants someone chasing truth. She doesn't want to be your reason for waking up. She wants to walk beside your mission. When you're building something, when you're moved by a goal bigger than yourself, she feels safer, smaller, softer around you. Because she doesn't want to lead the dance. She wants to join the rhythm of a man who already knows the music. Leadership without control. This one's delicate. Misunderstand it, and you'll come off as a tyrant. But hear it right, and you unlock her secret hunger. Every strong woman wants to surrender, but only to a man who's earned that surrender through calm authority. Not control, not ego, leadership. She wants to challenge you, push back, be heard, but when it's time to steer the ship, she wants to trust you know the way. When she says, I don't care, you decide, she's not being lazy. She's testing your decisiveness. When you hesitate, she feels alone. But when you say, we're going here, you'll love it, with conviction and calm, she exhales. Women aren't looking for kings, they're looking for captains. Men who don't control them, but lead with them. That's ancient. That's primal. And yes, that's a weakness she hides even from herself. Words that create worlds. Men fall in love with what they see. Women fall in love with what they hear. But not just any words, words that carry soul. The real superpower? Language that moves her. Words that feel like they came from your bones, not your favorite influencer. When you say, "You fascinate me," don't say it like a line, say it like a discovery. When you say, "I love your mind," say it like it ruined you. Because when a woman starts imagining a life with you, when your voice becomes part of her internal dialogue, she's already halfway gone. Words that carry rhythm, weight, and truth. That's what carves a place for you in her memory. Speak less, but when you speak, mean it with everything. The power of detachment. And now we reach the final one, the weakness no one dares to speak aloud. A woman's deepest craving? A man who can walk away. Not to punish, not to manipulate, but because his self-respect outweighs his attachment. When a man loves deeply but holds loosely, he becomes unforgettable. Neediness repels. Presence attracts. But detachment? Detachment awakens something primal. She can't control you. She can't cage you. And she respects you for it. Because the moment she realizes you don't need her, you choose her. That's when her attraction deepens. You become rare, a man she can't replace. The stoic man doesn't chase. He doesn't cling. He moves with clarity and walks away with grace. And when he does, she feels it in her soul. Not as loss, but as reverence. Be that man. Dai, one who speaks little, moves with purpose, leads without force, and leaves only when he must. That's stoic edge to be totem.